Triple the dancers, triple the fun. Tonight, we didn't just see couples dance, but we also saw some former All-Stars and trios hit the dance floor. Who was our favorite and who went home? You don't want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Teague, I love your sound effects. They're the best.
That's right. I got you on the sound effects. That is me.
All right, we have so much to talk about. Double the dances. We got trios, we got couples. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We're talking all things Dancing with the Stars. I'm your host, Morgan Willett. You can find me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett. If you want to get fancy, follow me on Instagram. It's at Morgan Lee Willett. Hey, I want my username back. All right, and we have Tara joining us back again.
Happy to be back.
We are so happy to have you back.
Hi. Girl. Hi.
Yay.
You can find me on all social media outlets at Turnure.
Amazing.
Whoop, whoop.
So exciting. I am Tiege Dooley-Panko. You guys can find me at TiegDP pretty much everywhere at TIEGEDP. Thought I should break it down for you. Also, we are already in the group chat, so thank you so much for getting involved and joining in the conversation. You guys are honestly so great, and we love reading your comments every week, so thank you. You're the bomb. So happy to talk everything Dancing with the Stars tonight.
Yay! Oh, and I am Carla Renata on all social media platforms at The Curvy Critic.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we have so much to talk about.
much.
So let's just
OMG.
start at the top. So we started with individual dances, so we'll go through all those. We had Teo and Cheryl with the Charleston. I'm gonna let you guys take it, starting off with this one. Who wants to take a dig at this one?
Want to dig it?
Okay, fine, I'll go first.
Hey.
I'll go first. You know what? I felt like they made it look really easy, but I felt like some of the steps were really difficult. And because he's so, tall and lanky, he just kind of glided through that ballroom, honey. I was digging it. I feel like what really made me laugh though is when Bruno called him the king of the Cotton Club. And y'all had this look
We
on
go,
your face
what?
like,
I was
ooh.
like, what?
I'm like, no, the Cotton Club was a real place.
All of us.
It's not a racial thing. It's not a racial thing.
Uneducated.
But I liked it. I enjoyed that. I really did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I expected a little bit more. I've seen him get into his character a little bit more. So I think that was like lacking just a little bit for me. And he just looked like a little bit uncomfortable. I saw the Hamburglar hands, which I'm like the biggest. There's one thing you can't slide past me. It's a hamburger hand. So
You were
I
like
did
the
see
Carrie
that,
hand of the panel.
I did see that. But other than that, I love his spirit. Sad about the end of the night. But hey,
We'll get there.
we'll get
Spoiler
there.
alert.
Yeah. So overall good, but
Yeah.
What'd you think, Tara?
No, I liked it. I liked in the package. I liked the dynamic between him and Cheryl. I love that she was like cracking the whip in practices, and I thought that her coaching style really worked well for him. He seemed like he's definitely improved. I agreed with Len. I don't know if he was, in my opinion, the most improved, because Len was saying he was, the contestant that has improved the most since the beginning of the season. I don't know if I necessarily agreed with that, but I thought that he definitely has improved a lot, and I thought it was a solid performance.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of with you, Teague. I wasn't too into this. I thought he did keep up, but I agree with you. He, to me, wasn't in character. Like, and almost in the package, like, he was a little, like, almost irritated. He was doing the Charleston. He's like, I don't know what this is fast. And, like, I kind of saw it on his face. Like, he just didn't seem into it. And I think that distracted me from the fact that he was doing the quick footsteps.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly hop in if that's okay, guys.
Hey,
It's
Jeff.
It's Jeff in the booth, as always.
Hey,
I think for me, like, the thing he had the choreography down pat. Like, I thought his choreography was amazing, but it was just the spirit of the dance. Like, I don't think he had the essence of what a Charleston actually is. I think a Charleston demands a ton of theatricality, which I think, like, theatricality is something I think that probably isn't Teo's strong suit. Because, like, you even look at Drew. who his Charleston choreography was a mess, but I do think he had the essence of the Charleston down a little better.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And you know what else I'll say about that, just to pop in on the last note, is that a lot of times when you have somebody really tall, like he is doing the Charleston looks better on people that are a little shorter and a little grounded to the floor. You know what I mean? Because they can move a little faster and a little quicker. He was probably frustrated that he couldn't move as fast and as quicker because he is tall, and it takes a lot more effort for him to make it, work.
Yeah, I definitely saw it on his face, but the judges apparently didn't. They really liked it. Carrie Ann light on his feet. Bruno said it was priceless. He's still a star rising. And Lynn even said no one has improved as much as him, and they gave him 3 9s for a total of 27. Which, does everyone agree with that?
I did.
I think it was a little bit overscored. Just a teeny little bit.
I think an 8
But
would
if
have
you're
should have slid in there
comparing it
maybe.
to, like, some of his, like, if you're just comparing him to him, I thought that the scores were
Adequate.
I think it was good. I think when, was it Bruno that said he's most improved? I think what the biggest improvement that I've noticed from him is his personality.
I agree.
You know, he just seems like very grateful to be there. The first week I think he was like, what did I sign myself up for? And now, I feel like he really appreciates it. And so I think that's the biggest thing I saw from him was his character kind of.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that. Next up, Drew and Emma had a waltz, and I love this. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was elegant. I mean, he did have a few, I feel like, maybe like a slip up or two, but I mean, I felt their connection, and I just loved it. And apparently the judges didn't, but what did you guys think?
Well, so I think that he definitely is my most improved dancer of the season.
What?
Yeah.
I think, sorry.
Yes, I think that he is. I think he has come night and day from like where he started. He was, not the best in the beginning, and I think that he's made some really big strides. I wasn't really paying attention to his feet, and I know that he was getting a lot of comments about like his feet being stiff.
Yeah, I wrote a note that I didn't even notice the feet. I think I was distracted.
I was so distracted by his like tribute to his fiance.
I think the package got me, and I was like, oh my God, it's a love story. Like, I see the connection.
Okay. All right, lovebirds.
Okay,
let's get down to business. I'm
Hit us with the
sorry.
feet.
Gonna hit you with the flat-footed note. He was a little bit flat. Not even just a little bit. He was flat-footed, and that was really distracting for me. I couldn't get past that. And when they said that, I think Bruno said he was blocky. I totally agree with that. Unfortunately, the bottom half of his body. I mean, I get it. If you got a big body like that, it's hard to like keep everything. Well, I mean, you kind of lose an arm, and I don't know. I'm sure that's hard. I don't have the biggest.
I'm the shortest thing up here, so don't look at me for support on
I
that
I'm just saying.
I can't speak to that. I don't know.
I'm saying he's got a lot to control. I get that, but I think
Okay, I'm on the Morgan train with this one. I really love this dance. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I was into the package like y'all were. I was totally about it. I was totally about it. But I love what I love the most about this dance is that Drew, to me, exuded that he was really had really grown into his partnership as a dance partner. Like, he was really there for her. They had those wonderful spins where he spun her on the floor and she was twirling around. I was like, yes, Drew. He was giving me life with that. But he did have some issues holding his frame. He was a little blocky, like Tiege said. So, but those are little things. I mean, when you start nitpicking, and that means that you have improved and that you're kind of good. But I really felt like he got underscored.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm still
I was kind of salty about that.
Heated.
I think that was right.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Tiege.
Hey, I know you guys are all against me, but I think that
And I'm sipping.
Hey,
You said that to you.
I think that the scores made sense. I think we all love Drew. It's cool, but we're getting down to it's week 8.
But my thing is like
serious.
I'm fine with them scoring him that, but then I think like Victoria and Val should have been scored lower because a lot of other people who compared to Drew and Emma, I don't think did as well, but scored a lot higher. So I'm a little confused where the 7s came with everyone else kind of got 8s. Or like in other ones, but
that's a good point.
They have their reasons.
Somebody in the chat room said he survived, but this is his last week.
Yeah.
Well, I thought last week was
I don't know.
his last week.
He keeps slipping
I
by.
think
Yeah.
he has a really big following because
He
everybody
must.
loves
It's
that
a reality show.
show.
That Property
Yeah,
Brothers show. It's a
Properties
huge.
Brothers.
My mother watches that show every time it comes on.
Shoot,
And
voting for
we have
him?
to think of the demographic that probably watches Property Brothers and Dancing with the
Exactly.
Stars.
It's like probably pretty similar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he might be the surprise.
Oh, we'll see. But we'll move on from him. We have so much to talk about. Next up, Victoria and Val with an Argentine tango. I know she struggled with the sexiness, and I just didn't really buy it. I don't know if you guys felt the same way. I like the dance. I think she did okay, but I just don't think this was her night. I think she was off in both of her dances. It just didn't feel like her. I don't know if she was uncomfortable being sexy or I'm sure the spasm really did affect her.
I think the spasm. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think her having that back spasm in rehearsal really kind of diminished her confidence for the night.
And you can see
and
it.
you could see the kinesio tape all over her. She looked like a checkerboard with the kinesio tape all up and down her knees and all up and down her back and the back of her legs. I felt for homegirl because that's
rough.
It's hard. I've had that happen when you get that back spasm and you can't breathe and it's debilitating. It is. So I felt bad for her. I really did.
I felt bad, and I think that one of the biggest things for me that was distracting were the eyes, and I like that the judges brought that up because it just looked very, she wanted to give this,
Sexy.
the smolder, and I wanted it from her, but I think she was just looking down and questioning herself, and I could see that the injury that she's most recently, dealing with, it kept her very, very in.
Well, they said that they did comment on her acting. They said that that's the one thing for them that's lacking, and they can't give her bonus points because she has the condition that she has.
I appreciate that though.
They
I
have
mean,
to
at
score
least
her
they're
like
being
everybody
very
else.
realistic
Yeah.
and being fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you know what? I mean, think about how scary that would be. I mean, given everything she's overcome and that getting a spasm, I'm sure just brought her back to so much trauma that she's experienced. And I mean, I think she would be superhuman if she could just snap out of that and get into character. I don't know. I feel like
I'm really glad that they addressed last week. Remember we said it was just kind of awkward with Val and her? And then I'm so
Yes.
happy that in that package they said, I was a little bit off last week. We were having a little bit of a we weren't on the same page. I'm glad that they addressed that.
Right.
But I think we haven't seen her personality the way, for the first few weeks we were like, oh my gosh, this girl is
she
everyone's
was very bubbly.
a bubbly.
I
And
agree.
she
It's
feels
almost
so
like-
dampened now.
But this always happens on Dancing with the Stars when we get close to the semifinals and the finals. People start feeling that pressure. They start, doubting themselves.
I mean,
They
look
start-
at Frankie.
Well,
like
she
every
might also
package,
just
Frankie
be
is doubting himself.
exhausted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and that too. They're
think
exhausted.
about-
They're doing more than one dance. They're doing
and-
trios. It's
Yeah,
all that
and
going on.
think about everything her body has been through, and I'm sure this is just probably taking a toll. Maybe so.
It's
maybe
stressful.
She's just stressed out.
And I mean,
don't know.
yeah, I think you can see it.
Did any of you guys feel like the choreography was a bit of a B for this Argentinian tango? Argentine? Or did you guys like the choreo? I just felt like maybe it was a choreo problem.
I mean, it could be because it wasn't.
Val's been, I will say, the last
wasn't
couple
my
weeks, Val's
favorite.
been letting me down a little bit with this choreo. Maybe I'm in the
That's
minority.
been in the group chat too. We've talked about that in the comments. People have agreed with that. I think it's been.
I think it's okay. It's not
past seasons,
stand out.
I've liked Val's choreography more in other seasons, but
I
It
agree
could
with
be
that.
that
I do agree
he's
with
maybe struggling to work with what she has with her legs.
right.
Maybe
Totally.
that
And it's
affects the
stressful for
choreo
him too. It's
I
stressful
bet.
for him too. In addition to Val having to dance with the star every week, he has to choreograph the routine. He has to pick out the costumes. He has to decide what the lighting and everything. There's a lot on him pressure-wise too. So everybody's just feeling the pressure.
Well, the judges kind of agreed with our comments. Carrie Ann, she dropped her eyes too much. Lynn said he didn't get transported. And then Bruno made a good point that she needed to act the part, which I really agreed with. So 3 8s for a total of 24. Fair.
Yeah. I think fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
Meh.
Next.
Moving on. Okay, Lindsay and Mark with the samba. I have very mixed emotions about this. I want to like it, but there were some parts, and I know we brought this up, when they were flailing the arms. Did we ever figure out what that was called?
No, but anytime me and Carla, we were talking about, we've done it a lot in routines, it's slower and you're down to the ground.
Your knees, you're like,
you're boom, boom, boom,
I've heard them called
And-
arm circles, is what I've heard them called.
No,
before.
it's not arm circles.
I don't know if it's arm circles.
No.
So I think the biggest thing
No,
is
definitely not.
I think the biggest part of that move though is you're down to the ground and you're in plie. I think that they did it too quick and it was like whoa, what's that?
It was weird. It was fast because their arms didn't they didn't have the full what do you call it?
Like you release your back.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that,
It's like
and
it's like pa-ka, pa-ka-ka,
They're
pa-ka-ka. It's
saying
like your
like
back and your head goes. It's
African
African.
arm circles. African arm circles. Sound?
African arm
okay,
circles.
Thank you.
Everyone's like shading Jeff, and he's like, I was right.
Don't be gloating. Don't be gloating.
But I mean, it was such an original performance.
It was very, very
creative,
unique.
especially
I will
for
say
a
that.
samba. That was totally unique. But yeah, I thought she was another one that just didn't seem as confident.
Yeah, and I
as
feel like she
normally is.
wasn't on the same level that she normally is. I was
Yeah.
like, is this Lindsay? It just didn't feel like a Lindsay and Mark dance to me.
Agree.
Which was really interesting because the comments that they gave, Lynn said that it was full of rhythm and full of imagination. I'm like, okay. He said he loved the running promenade. I'm like, okay. And then, but Bruno made me laugh because Bruno always makes me laugh when he said it was like the samba presented by Barnum and Bailey Circus. I'm like, okay, you're wrong for that. And but he's the only one out of the three that really, really, really liked it. And then Carrie Ann was like, it brought out her inner Beyonce. I'm like, yeah, no, Carrie Ann, I don't think so. And she said that she agreed more with Lynn, but she thought it was brilliant and fantastic. I'm with y'all. I was like, that did not knock my socks off. I was like,
No,
It was very
When
average.
she started in the costume, I'm like, yes, this is gonna be a
I know,
good
we were so
one.
excited, and then
I
it
was
started,
so
and we were
excited,
like,
and then
oh my
I
God.
just a little bit underwhelmed. I think the tempo wasn't my favorite either.
The music choice I didn't
Yeah.
agree with.
The music choice wasn't happening. I liked the setting that they created with the costumes and the lights and
It
the
had
set,
so much
but
potential, but it kind of fell flat.
yeah, absolutely.
Agreed. It was a
absolutely.
cool concept, but kind of just
Absolutely.
womp womp. But the
Womp.
judges, a 9, an 8 from Len, and then another 9 for a total of 26, which, I mean, it was good. So I guess I agree with that. It wasn't
Yeah.
their top,
No.
but it wasn't.
But they like her,
bad.
so they're not going to be
Right.
like,
They're not
super
gonna give her
mean.
all 8s.
No, we love her too. Like
Yeah.
we love her, but
Yeah,
that just
I love
was
her.
That wasn't my favorite dance.
Agreed,
From
agreed.
her.
Agreed.
Next up, Frankie and Whitney with a Viennese waltz. Is it just me or did everyone kind of seem a little off in the individual dances? I feel like, I mean, minus Jordan and Lindsay, okay, they're perfect, but everyone we've talked about, I'm just like, it wasn't their best tonight.
Yeah, maybe it was like they were just so focused on the trios because that was like the more challenging of the two dances. So
Yeah.
like they kind of didn't train as hard or something.
that could
I
be
think
it.
I think they all trained hard, but what I think happened is they were distracted by having to do that trio dance.
Yeah.
Like usually when they have more than one dance, they focus on one dance at a time, but because you're dancing with two and it's usually just you and your partner, but when you're dancing with two people as opposed to one, there's a lot going on in your brain with that because you got to match the other person, which brings me to this point, which Jeff brought up. Any other season of Dancing with the Stars, it's usually two pros
Yes.
and the dancer. And they brought these celebrities in, which I don't think that was. And
I agree.
Jeff and I agree on this one. I don't think that was a great idea because what it did is it accentuated the things that were weak about the celebrities to me.
Absolutely.
Drew and Rashad, really?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to all that later.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
I
right.
think
I'm
that's
sorry.
We'll
definitely-
finish it. We'll finish it.
The
No,
cart
I-
got before the horse. Sorry.
No, I think that's definitely something we need to talk about. But just going back to Frankie and Whitney, I think for the first time, and I guess I've noticed that Frankie's smaller in the season, but I think this time for some reason he just looked short this week, and not in a bad way, but I think that the judges were right when they said a lot of the movement, his knees were bent, and he just looked.
he wasn't
He didn't look
elongating
like
his legs,
the
sorry.
lead that he
The
could
man,
be.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
when he lost control of Whitney, I think that was evident. I thought it was a good dance. I think he always does well. But I think the weirdest part about their topic was when Erin was like, "So you're gonna take your shirt off next week?"
Erin,
I don't know.
what
it
are you
just felt
doing
like-
tonight?
Especially, and Jeff mentioned this, like with all the crazy stuff that's going on in Hollywood right now. Like if a girl, if we were to say that to a girl, Jeff was like,
Yikes,
saying
yeah.
a girl hey, we're gonna see some leg next week. That would not fly. You know, I just feel like it was a little bit of a weird comment.
Well,
Personally.
especially because he was so hesitant to it,
and it made me
kept
feel
pushing
uncomfortable.
It, you know,
it made
and
me
you were
feel
kinda
weird.
like,
So I
okay,
guess
just
we'll
let
see
that
next
go.
week. You know, they're probably. You know what? He's gonna wear one of those T-shirts that has like a bullet on it.
Yeah.
Mark my words. Calling it now.
Oh, that would be funny.
Yeah,
funny,
that would
though.
be funny.
That'd
But
be
I
a
just
good way
think
to
in the
see.
Harvey Weinstein age of things that they might want to have toned that down.
Right.
a tad.
Everybody's
Erin
sensitive right
Andrews
now.
is gonna get in trouble for that.
Yeah, and she made a. We'll get to
Well,
her
it's
strange
not-
comments.
It's
that
not
she-
her fault though. That was a production thing. That was
so she
in-
had to comment on
They
that.
had a clip
Yeah.
already put in the rundown, so I
True.
think that wasn't totally her fault. But I will admit, it just felt awkward, and
Yeah,
I was
it
just
was
like,
like,
oh, I felt uncomfortable.
It
But-
made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was like,
Well,
poor
'cause
Frankie.
He looked so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He turned the shade of a tomato. I was like,
Like,
oh,
yeah.
poor.
I
No,
know,
you're not even
I
gonna tell him
know.
you're playing this.
I want to really
Yeah.
quickly bring up a lot of people in the chat are like, what makes Frankie different from asking Terrell or Drew to do it?
It doesn't.
But yeah, exactly. The point wasn't that it's the person. It's the fact that Frankie seemed uncomfortable with it.
Exactly.
And I do think, I don't want to get on a soapbox, but if you live in LA right now, there's kind of a heightened sense of just sensitivity around harassment. And I don't want to get on a soapbox, and I know this is about the after show, but I do think it's important to be careful with double standards. And if a guy is feeling uncomfortable with being like having sexuality pushed on them, I just think it's something we should also try to keep in check. And I don't know if any of you guys had the commercial with Cristiano Ronaldo coming out of a hotel room, having photos taken of him. I don't know, that might have only been West
weird.
Coast, but
Yeah,
that was
weird.
totally
in
weird.
context of Erin Andrews having suffered from a non-consensual hotel incident with pictures and video, it's a weird commercial to air during a broadcast of Dancing with the Stars.
Absolutely.
But that's a bit off topic, and we get back to the show.
Ditto.
Absolutely. No, it's such
We
a good
agree.
point,
Yeah.
Jeff. Yeah.
They weren't
Interesting.
thinking tonight. But back to the scores of that. It was okay. Bruno said there was a wonderful flow of movement. I mean, the judges liked it. It was a 9 and 8 from Len and a 9 for a total of 26. It was kind of funny, though, that I wrote down, I'm telling the truth, my little sausage, when Lynn told that to Carrie Ann. I was like, Lynn,
That's such a British thing.
Sausage.
That's just a British
so
thing.
it's just, I mean, I kind of agreed with him, so.
Everyone was a little awkward tonight.
Yeah, this was just
At least
kind
there
of
were
an
no
awkward
bats
show.
falling from the sky. Can I get an
Yeah,
amen?
amen. Interns
No more
were
bats.
under control
No more
tonight.
Grim Reaper. I'm down.
Yeah,
honey.
I will say I
Oh,
like
man.
this without the gimmicks tonight. There was I'm like, oh
Yes, the
we get to
opening
watch
number was my
dances.
favorite.
The opening was
Yeah.
great. There
Yes.
was no hokey things.
No.
Good job.
True. True.
But moving on, just to such a perfect dance. Jordan and Lindsay did a quick step. Literally, all I wrote perfection. Just
insane.
flawless.
It was insane.
So
So-
creative.
His leap was actually higher than hers.
Which is insane.
What?
Which is
Yeah.
I mean,
insane.
the kid is insane. That was insane. I know, Carla, you mentioned the lighting.
I
The
hated
lighting
I
was
did
hurting
hate the
my
lighting.
eyes. It was hurting my eyes. It was just way too. I mean, I get what they were going for, but it was just way too much psychedelic action for me. Like I literally had to just watch the TV like this and concentrate on those blue costumes to not let the circles like jack my
that was
eyes
a lot.
up. It's like when you go to a movie theater or a dance floor and they have that strobe light happening. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was too much. I mean, I
that-
can, but too
yeah.
much. It was too
that
much.
that routine though was seriously so complicated, and
And
he
he
makes
did it
everything look so easy.
perfectly.
It's like crazy. I mean, that's how you know how talented he is, because you watch him and you're just like, whoa, okay, he looks like a pro, A, and B, he just it like comes together so clean and so perfectly that it's like. Yeah, he could do it in his
What
sleep
always
almost.
blows me with Jordan is his ability to work a camera. I mean, I feel like he's had more theatrical experience than TV experience. I might be wrong there, but he knows his angles so well. Just
Well,
from,
he was on a TV show for years.
wasn't it a multicam though, or was it a single cam? I'm amazed.
I don't know which one it was, but it doesn't matter. He's still on camera, so
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. He knows how to work his angles and find
This
his,
is the
find
first
his key
week.
light.
I've been pro Lindsey Sterling this whole season, but tonight I was like, Jordan should win the show. Like this
Oh,
was.
well,
Yeah.
once we get to his
Yeah.
trio, boy,
But
hold
you
on,
know
but
what?
boy.
I think this is an interesting point, though, too. I think he's gotten a little bit of flack. I think people are, a little bit upset about how confident he is and, how much training he has. I know I've seen that a lot in the chats. So I think sometimes when he says, like, they expect more because I'm like, ooh, maybe just, like, don't say that because,
Humble
just
pie.
because
Humble
I think people are kind of waiting to be like, oh, man, too much. But But I think obviously you can't deny his talent. He's insane.
Well, he got a standing O from Lynn.
Yeah,
so
which is
that.
pretty impressive. And I mean, the judges just thought exactly what we thought, that it was brilliant. Lynn, standing ovation. I mean, that itself tells you how good that dance is.
And he said nothing. He just stood up. That was it.
Yeah. So, I mean, literally,
well deserved.
What would there be to critique about that? I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything. So they got 3 10s, 430. I mean, give him an 11. I don't know. That was great.
But it almost just feels like even in the chat they're just saying, you know, it's like I don't even know if I want to watch because they're perfect. You know, it's like. So I do admit, you know, it kind of feels like we just brought in this troupe to dance for a minute.
But in all
They're not
fairness to Jordan, every season they have somebody that has dance experience. Kelly Monaco.
Corbin Blue.
Yes, Kelly Monaco, who was the first winner of Dancing with the Stars, had dance experience, and she won. And people were complaining about her. So they have 1 or 2 people every season that have dance experience.
Yeah.
And I guess they do it to just break it up and make it a more interesting season. I'm not quite sure, but it happens every year.
I almost feel like they have to do it because they have to have some of those like wow amazingness, you know? Like I feel like if they didn't have somebody with some dance background, we'd be seeing
and you
a bunch of Drews. Like you want to have a bunch.
Yeah.
And you know how Tiege feels about that,
That'd
right?
be tough to watch. Is all I'm saying.
I can't. You know, look when Zendaya was on there. When Zendaya was on there, she caught flack because they were like, "Well, her show is called Shake It Up, and she's a dancer." You got to have somebody on there that's a dancer just to break up the monotony of watching a bunch of people that are flat-footed.
You're
I'm
so
just saying.
right. You're so right.
You want different
right.
skill sets and like different strengths because it would be so repetitive.
Boring. Yeah,
It really would.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the trios.
Yay!
It's exciting.
So fun. So first up, Teo, Cheryl, and Kelly Monaco, who was the first winner ever.
Yeah.
This dance. They did a rumba. Okay, I'm just thinking about this. He was so feminine. I don't really know what to say. I'll let y'all start about this, but just the move, and even Jeff summed this up, and I felt like very well. Christina Aguilera, circa 1998. It's kind of the vibes I was getting.
I thought he was giving you Prince.
Okay.
I thought he was giving you Prince cream on top. That's what I thought he was giving, and it was making me chuckle more than anything else. I'm like, ugh.
You know, I was excited because he's such a burly guy, and I wanted like something masculine, and I'm gonna take control. But he was like another lady, and he was like swinging those hips, and he was like, "I'm a genie in a bottle, baby," and that's what I was
She
getting.
said, "I'm a genie in a bottle."
And they were all wearing pink. I'm sorry, I thought it was just too much hip action.
Right.
And I
I'm
mean,
telling
he
you,
did it
Prince
well.
Prince video.
He did it well, but I just,
Maybe he was. I wanted just kind of intimidated by being.
See,
in the
I
middle.
feel like he wasn't. He didn't look intimidating. Maybe it was the choreography, because I know even the judges said they would have liked to see more choreography. It was well performed, but I was just like, I just see a lot of you shaking your hips, doing some body rolls.
I felt like he was
like
flirting.
awkwardly sexual.
Yes.
I
There
felt
was,
like he was
so
flirting
much
with Kelly.
Sexual
but there was
tension.
not dancing really.
I know,
You were
but
like, make it stop. Just
Right.
like focus on what you're doing
Right.
and do that later.
Right. I felt like he was flirting with Kelly
Totally.
Monaco
Yeah.
because she said that if they got all 10, she would go out with him. So he was like, I'm gonna make her want me whether I get
Yes.
these 10s or not.
Well, you
I'm like,
didn't get
But,
the
like,
tens.
for me, like, I don't know, but like last time I checked, this is not gonna do it for me.
No.
I don't
I
know.
want a man.
I'm just
See, I have
saying,
a
like,
question for you.
swinging on the
The
hip.
rumba is so interesting to me because the
Yeah.
line between guys with hip action who really look masculine and guys with hip action who really look feminine is such a blurry line.
True.
What do you think? How do you do the rumba as a guy and kind of exude an alpha energy rather than kind of what I thought was kind of feminine today?
I think you use your hands more, and it's more like it's
Sharper.
a
It's
more
sharper
this.
movement. It's a
more of
sharper
this
movement.
thing.
Yeah. Opposed to it, like just letting it all go. You know, I want like hip. I want a hip. You can still do a hip and make it sharp.
Watch Val and Max. They'll show you
Right,
what a
that
masculine.
is-
Well,
They'll
they'll
it
show
was
you
like
what
his
a masculine
wrists were
rumba is.
too,
Right.
like dippy
Right.
and
It's a little
twirly.
too flowy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was still
That
giving
was
me
it.
Prince cream on top. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I think 8s across the board. Was
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, the judges. 3 8s for a total of 24.
Yeah.
They all basically said, I mean, it was sexy, but more rumba.
More
so
Right.
content. Yeah.
moving on, Drew, Emma, and Rashad. I love Rashad. I mean, I've said
Yes.
that 8 million times. I adore him. But they did a cha-cha, and you know, I thought he kept up with it. I thought it was a cute dance. It was fun. But, like, you're putting Drew with Rashad. I mean, you're going to have to compare the two, and he's not going to be able to live up to Rashad.
We sat there at one point. I'm sorry, go ahead, Tara.
Okay. Well, I honestly was a little nervous when I saw who he was paired up with, and I was like, uh-oh. But actually, I thought he did better than I thought he would. I mean, Rashad was the winner last season. He's obviously amazing, has a ton of swag, and, I mean, Drew is as white as you can get. Like, I mean, he lacks some of the natural...
Yes, he lacks a lot of natural rhythm.
So, but I thought that he did great, and they were in sync for most of the dance, and I liked it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to say something. So,
Teague's face,
because she know it's coming. So this is the thing. Yes, he naturally dances well, but he's a football player, so they dance on the floor. It's not because he's black or anything like that. It's just that, you know, he's a football player, so they got to dance around on the field and do their thing like that. But we all agreed at the fact that when they first started dancing, they were hiding him in the back a lot.
Oh, yeah, there was so much glitter in those scenes.
More
It was
glitter
like,
on Drew. More glitter on Drew.
Glitter. Okay, so here's my thing. When he did that body roll, I just want to do a demonstration. So he didn't start at his head. He done started at his neck. So it was like, I think that was the problem.
There you go.
I love Drew. I feel bad. I keep giving him trouble, but I think he's really great. But I think this is where your point is really valid. That when you put someone with Rashad with Drew, it's just not fair to Drew.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, like that's what it takes to win, and I don't know if Drew has it if he can't do that body roll.
Like, put Drew with I just mind blanked. So in the baseball player from last season.
David Ross.
Yes, like Drew and David would be a little more of a fair combo.
Oh no, that would have been child. That would have been like thing 1 and thing 2. Come on now.
It would be a little more even. You wouldn't be comparing like Drew to like this superstar.
Oh, Morgan,
Right.
you are wrong for that. You know that would have been like thing 1 and thing 2.
Okay, maybe that's like kind of bad for comparing the two.
I do think it's a matter of
Not put it
conditioning.
with a sock.
Ooh, that made me lightheaded.
As viewers, we're conditioned to watch the pros in one category and the contestants in another category, right? We don't watch the pros to judge them because they're the frame by which we judge the contestants. So when you put two contestants and one pro in the same dance, we're just conditioned to judge both of the contestants, not only individually but against each other. So I think this was an interesting production choice to pair, two contestants with one pro, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Also, they were wearing the same outfit, and it just looked drastically different on both of them. I mean, Drew looked like he was like, in like a big costume that his dad.
Pawn shop owner.
Okay,
Like a
pawn shop owner was the exact detail that I went into. But then
owner.
Rashad looked like he was like,
Swag. He looked
swagging,
great.
like he could wear that anywhere, So
Yeah,
I
it
don't
just
know.
wasn't a great comparison, but I mean the scores were decent, so a 9 and 8 and 8 for a total of 25. So I mean I think that the judges liked it, but I mean it's hard to keep up with Rashad, so
Yeah, it's almost not fair. And his abs coming through the shirt in the practice, I'm like, whoa.
like boom boom boom. Okay, Rashad.
Settle down over there.
Okay.
Settle down, mama, settle down.
All right, next up, Victoria Val and Lori Hernandez did a drive. Oh, this one just fell flat for me. To me, it was just, I mean, she lacked all confidence in this. I really think it could have been the spasm, but it was just kind of a hot mess, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I loved the start though. Like I loved the underlying message of like sharing the limelight and
The concept was cute.
The concept was cute, but then she was off and her footwork was just kind of all over the place and just it wasn't very sharp. It was disappointing.
I wasn't feeling that concept. I wasn't feeling that dance. I wasn't feeling her in that dance. I felt like this was another instance, like with Rashad, that the former champion shined more than the celebrity in the season did. Because Lori Hernandez she just has all, like Rashad, she just has all that energy. They just had that showmanship. They're just like, hey, I'm out here, I'm dancing, I'm doing my thing. Yeah. And Victoria was so concerned about her injury, which she should be, that I don't think she could concentrate properly to pull off the dance the way that she needed to for it to be a little bit more effective. Don't you think?
Yeah. I wanted her to do well, but I just could see she felt uncomfortable, and even like the black tape on the back was very distracting.
Do nude tape.
We got any nude
Please.
back there?
Right.
Could we put foundation on it for the show? I mean, I just
Foundation on the butt.
Yeah,
I mean, I've done that.
Do they really?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
done
put
that.
foundation on the back.
To hide band-aids, to hide
just
stuff.
like-
Yeah, I mean,
Just nude.
I just
But
feel
how about
like
just get some kinesio tape
Or
just to
just
color
like
her skin?
Yeah,
the
anything.
costume,
I
maybe,
just-
you know? It's
it
not
just felt very like she was playing it safe and she felt uncomfortable, and then I felt uncomfortable, and then I was just like waiting for something to happen. You know, I don't know.
When I think the judges hit the nail on the head, I think it was Carrie Ann said she wasn't sure how to act alone, which was, she looked so uncomfortable and so awkward
Absolutely.
as soon as Lori went to go dance.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, I think she was just off tonight. I don't think she's figured out how to, get fully in character. Or maybe that was just tonight. But yeah, this was
rough.
slacking for me.
I mean, she's been so much better at the beginning of the season, and like in every other episode. I think tonight was just, she was really struggling because I think that injury like freaked the crap out of her.
Yeah, and you could see like it was even stressing her parents out in the audience. I think they kept panning to the parents, and the dad even had like a little bit of a tear in his eye. You know, I'm sure they're really proud of her, but I'm sure they're just as on edge.
I'm sure they're
worried
terrified.
too. So.
I'm sure part of her is like wondering if she should even be doing this. Maybe
Yeah,
like,
you have to
she's
wonder, is it
pushing too
okay
much,
for her
or-
body?
I don't know.
Because I think at some point during the evening, didn't they say that spasms is how her condition started in the first place?
Yes.
So it freaked her out. It mentally just messed with her. And
Totally.
back spasms are nothing to mess with because it makes your whole body just freeze up.
Well, especially if you've been paralyzed before, it's like
Well, and then there's that. So thank goodness that's never happened to any of us. But I feel for
Seriously.
her. Yeah.
I can imagine.
It's rough. But the
Right.
judges, 3 8s, total of 24.
I mean, I kind of felt bad for the judges because it's like, given the circumstances, like, how do you even
It's like
judge?
you want to be tough because the dance wasn't that great, but she's
know.
kind of dealing with an injury and all that stuff.
You
so.
brought up a good point, Morgan, though, that in the context of Drew's score, this was overscored. I hate to say it, because Victoria's spirit and her energy is so wonderful. I love her so much. But I think someone brought up a good point earlier, just quickly about the Drew thing we've been talking about. Without Nikki, I wonder if the judges needed to find a new weak link. That was Joseph Boza in the chat. I said it during the show. I feel like Drew got Nickied, like he was underscored, and I think every episode they kind of need they need the low end of the leaderboard. They need the weak link, and I kind of think they forced that on Drew a little bit this week, especially in the context of this trio, which I thought was a struggle for Victoria.
Yeah, I think a 7 should have been tossed in there, but. Well,
Yeah, there was that.
there was that. Next. Okay, Mark, Lindsay, and Christy did a jazz. I thought this was fantastic. I thought it was sharp, clean, elegant. Wasn't a fan of the music, but what can you do? And I think this is the first time out of the trios I didn't compare the two, like side by side. I was like, they were an equal match. I wasn't distracted by that. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I thought they were perfectly matched and they were really in sync, and it was just a beautiful performance.
I thought that Whitney, God, Whitney's incredible, and she's just stunning all around. But I think she did such an awesome job at showing, everybody's strengths in that dance, and she makes her dances so well for her partners. So I think that was the biggest thing that I noticed, and I think it all worked really well because of her choreography. Choreography.
I did not share the enthusiasm with the three of y'all, but
Interesting.
there's that.
There's that.
There's that.
Well, the judges really liked this. A 10, a 9, and a 9, total of 28. So, we got a 10 in there from Carrie Ann. She said it was classic, clean, and spot on. So they did something right with that
I loved
one.
it, and I loved the Carlton move, like the little Carlton, and then the. Oh, I thought that was so cute. I thought
that I
the whole
actually did
thing was
like.
Wait,
Guys, are we talking about?
Teague, I think you're ahead one.
I thought we were talking
You
about
guys, I'm
Lindsay.
sorry, I'm dumb. I totally am talking
You
about.
had a blonde moment.
Where are you right now?
Looking at our notes,
shoot.
Teague is like Derek Huff.
I
and-
know.
She's like Derek Huff and Julie
was
Ann
there.
really did their thing.
Yeah. Oprah Winfrey was real good this episode.
Whitney,
Hey,
I'm like,
here's your
what?
comments for the next one.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. My notes are scrabbly. Okay.
It's all good.
All right, well, let's move on to the one that you are talking about.
On your page.
I'm sorry,
Frankie,
you guys.
Whitney, and Alfonso.
Yeah.
I agree with you. So good.
No, but Whitney's
Whitney's
an amazing
choreography.
choreographer.
was flawless on that. And they threw in the Carlton. So,
Yeah.
Teague, I agree with
And then
your
they stopped
comments.
it.
But okay, something that I have to just disagree with the judges about was when Karen was saying that Frankie looked nervous. Did you guys think he looked nervous?
No.
'Cause
I
didn't think
didn't. I thought he
didn't.
kind of came out there maybe the first second. And then I was just really impressed with the
Yeah,
dance.
no,
But
I
I didn't. And I feel like a lot of them said that, or maybe it was just Carrie
No,
that
I
said
think
he looked
She was
intimidated.
the only one
but
that said that, but
I
y'all,
didn't
that was
see
my
it.
favorite pair up.
Me
Ooh, it
That
was
was one of my
good.
favorite
Me
pairs
too.
because they
Yeah.
looked like they danced the same, like they had the
Yeah.
same kind of little short
Same
bodies,
energy.
and same energy, and they had so much in common. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Finally, you're
I know.
I thought you were against me
I
when I was
know.
saying that
No,
about
girl.
Frankie, Whitney, and Alfonso. I'm like, how did you not love that?
No, girl. I know I've been the
makes
Grinch.
sense.
I know I've been the Grinchette this evening, but
Grinchette.
I did like that one.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I thought you would say.
Of course.
So, yeah, no, again, I mean, I could repeat what I just said, but Whitney, yeah, it really is a star. And she really choreographed that perfectly.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, everything worked. I mean, the music, the choreography, the
costumes.
costumes, the pairings. It was great.
I think Alfonso and Frankie are both just like swaggy goofballs.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's
Like,
a
Yes.
good word to describe
Good way,
them.
Yeah.
like they're like seemingly goofballs, and then they like bring it when they dance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which in the scores, 3 9s, total of 27. I was a little disappointed
was
there was no
thinking
10.
there-
Yeah, they should have definitely got a 10 because they
Totally.
worked that out.
That was
They worked
really
that out.
good.
I think so too.
They worked that out, but I think they probably didn't get a
Boo.
10 because Lynn read Frankie about in the package. He like imitated him. He's like, "I'm not that great of a dancer." He's
Yeah,
like,
Frankie's got to step it up
I
with the
think that
confidence in the
turned him off.
packages.
Yeah.
I
That
think-
lack
Frankie,
of
stop
confidence.
doing that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's got to
Stop
stop
it.
now.
likes that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he.
that's self-deprecating
Yeah.
humor.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not working.
No.
Right.
But
Okay.
he like takes it to a whole nother level. So
He-
it's like not even funny.
When I
It's
feel
kinda
like every
okay.
package is kind of
Stop it.
that. Like he
Yeah.
says the same thing. He's like, "Oh, I'm not that confident this week." I'm like, "No, just lie. Just lie to us, and we'll believe it because
Yeah,
you
like
do
at this
good."
stage,
Yeah.
come on. Yeah.
But we'll see next week. Moving on, last dance of the night. Jordan, Whitney,
Insane.
Corbin, salsa. Probably my favorite dance of the whole entire season. But
Yes.
go ahead,
Insane.
guys, take it away.
I mean, the fire, the costumes, they were so in sync. And they also, too, Corbin and Jordan are like the same person.
Right.
Even on the dance floor.
I think it was just actually hilarious from the like when the flames went up. I was like, "Oh, this is about to be really good." And when they jumped off the stairs and their
Insane.
slides swag
They
forward,
worked that
I
out.
mean,
Lifts
They worked that out,
were-
but that lift, that
Ooh,
one
I
lift,
wanna
the
replay
lift
that.
where I
Right.
wish we could replay the lift where she was sitting on the shoulder and then she flipped over into that cartwheel. What?
I
You know
know.
how
Yeah.
hard that is?
I know.
but it looks so easy. I was
It
like,
looked
"Oh,
like
I
it
could do
looked
that."
easy.
Oh,
like,
sure.
no big deal.
They worked
I
that
would
out. That was
hurt
so
myself.
bomb.
good.
Permanently, if I tried to do that.
Like Carrie Ann said, it was sick. There
It was
no
it was
words.
sick.
No
Yeah,
words.
totally.
No words.
And scores totally deserved 3 10s, total of 30. I think that was the only trio that got a perfect score. So, well deserved.
Yes, it
Oh, they
was.
did get a perfect score.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
there's that.
Jordan
Frankie?
got 2 perfect scores.
Yeah,
tonight,
2
right?
Or
perfect scores.
There we go. Oh,
Insane.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
the trio though, you were right, Morgan.
Yes.
The only trio to get a perfect
Yes.
score. I was just commenting. I think this was a double perfect score night for Jordan,
It
which
was.
is well
Which,
deserved. I think.
He did
Awesome.
deserve it.
awesome.
Whitney outdid herself with that
insane, yeah.
choreography tonight, though. I'm saying.
she's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Whitney.
Oh,
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
But also Whitney. Whitney
Yeah.
did good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll move on to who went home. Oh, I was very surprised by our bottom 2. So it ended up being Frankie and Whitney and Teo and Cheryl, which I really thought it'd be Drew and Emma. But
Yeah.
Yep, we said that, but the chat room was right because the
They-
chat room
y'all
said
guys-
that T.O. was going.
You guys knew.
That's what they
Yeah.
said.
you
Called
guys
it.
know.
Y'all called it
I
out.
kind of had a feeling, and honestly, like I said before, I think Drew, you guys, has like a crazy fan base out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's what's saving him.
That reality show fan base is
people
no joke.
love
No
Property
joke.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yep, I love
Like
Property Brothers.
everyone of all ages loves Property Brothers.
Yeah, they
you
do.
know?
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
so.
showing in the voting, but then sadly, Teo and Cheryl went home. But I mean, between Frankie and Teo, I mean, I think it's obvious that Teo would have gone. Maybe you don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Because Frankie's had a couple of weeks that were not so stellar.
I forget about the
True.
Smurf
You know?
wig,
Don't forget about that turn on the floor.
the wig and the skirt. That is
Between
true. I
that
forget
Jolly-
about
Jolly Green
Between that Jolly Green Giant look.
Whereas Terrell has, like, you know, consistently gotten better. Whereas, like, Frankie's
like,
been a little, woo, you know.
Yeah.
I swear, y'all, I really do have like Sprite in this cup.
Oh man.
I was sad to see Teo go.
I was too. I
like
really,
him.
I loved him and Cheryl. I think they grew so much. At first, I was like, I really don't like Teo, and then by the end of it, I was.
I remember you were not having
I was
him.
not on
Not into
Team
him
Teo.
either. But he has gotten so much better
He's great.
and like opened up. He's kind of softened up. I feel like the show has been really good for him.
I
It's
think
kind of-
that memorable week show.
yeah,
I
that
think
was a
that's
turning
a
point
turning
him.
point for him.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Sad to see him go, but I do think
Yeah.
he like really grew through this experience, which is what it's about.
Yes,
Kind of.
indeed.
Yes,
It's a transformative experience.
it is. Not like I've been on
Dancing
it.
with the
but-
Stars.
Well, let's make a quick prediction for next week based on tonight. Who do we think is going home?
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
I was like, what is going
What the hell was that?
All of our faces. What?
I was like,
I'm taking over this.
At first, I was
You're
like,
welcome,
did they
guys.
just play us off
Thanks,
there?
Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's nifty. All right, so
cute.
predictions based on tonight.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously it's either
I think
Frankie
Victoria and
or
Val.
Drew. Oh, really?
I agree.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
I think they had a rough night, and I mean, I according to Drew, it seems like he has the votes. He's not been in the bottom, or at least this week.
I want to hear you guys who you think and then who you want, if that makes sense. So who you think will go, but who you think should go home.
I think Victoria and Val. I think Drew should go home though.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think Victoria and Val will probably go home. I don't know. I think Drew is like the dark horse of the competition.
What?
Yeah, I think he's gotten so much
There's
better.
always one.
I honestly,
That is
I
true.
Think,
He
I think
might
he's
make
gotten
it.
so much better, and I think that's what the show is about. Is really like improving and becoming a better dancer. So yeah, I don't know, but and I think Frankie's been a little less consistent. So I think maybe Frankie should go home.
Okay. I think Drew should probably go home. I think that's a thing. And but I think honestly I think Victoria and Val might be in a little bit of hot water right now. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure she's connecting as well as she was in the
Agreed.
beginning.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like Drew should go home, but I feel like Victoria and Val may end up going home instead. Because I agree with you, Tara, that he has a really strong following online, and that might be what keeps him
But
there.
you guys, like, let's not forget Nikki Bella has a huge following, and so that didn't get her.
But that's a different type of following. You know, ain't no 70-year-old ladies watching wrestling.
Yeah,
That's true, and a lot of
she has a
7-year-olds
You're
are
right.
watching
and there's a
Property
lot of
Brothers
70-year-old,
Fan
70,
base.
80-year-old women watching
Yeah.
Property Brothers.
so
and
right.
Dancing with the Stars.
You're right.
Yeah. And I think he
point.
probably won over some hearts with his like package on his individual dance too, with like how mushy he was.
Oh
towards
my
his
God.
fiancée. I mean, I feel like that pulled on some heartstrings.
That's cute.
It
I
was
agree.
cute. Reminded me how single I was. Anyways.
Aren't we all?
Thanks so much for watching, guys. We're so excited to join y'all next week. Keep commenting on the YouTube. We love responding to you guys. You're amazing. I'm your host, Morgan Willett. Find me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett.
And I'm Tara Turnure. You can find me at Tara Turnure.
And I'm Tiege Dooley-Panko. You guys can find me at TVDWTS. We look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments, and thank you so much for being in the chat. You guys are seriously the bomb.com.
Ditto to what she said, and I am Carla Renata. You can find me across all social media platforms at The Curvy Critic.
Bye, guys. See you
Thank
later.
you, guys. Have a good week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.